The guy. Oh, Lord. I mean, it's terrible. You know, I got an email from somebody yesterday saying that some former MP had taken their land and was just throwing his weight about, and the police there, which is, I see Adenta also, Adenta police, they were the least said about them, the better. And the email is very long. It's like they want to come together to appeal to the public to help because they are. It's like people just don't care.
No.
You know.
No, they don't.
So that story, I don't know how to treat it. The guy built the house in the middle of the road, and he's there, and people are also watching him. Meanwhile, that Jerusalem thing they built in Nigeria, no, it's still there, or it's not there. It's there.
The was Tower of Babel.
Tower,
what do we call it? The leaning Tower of
the Tower of School Junction is there. Giddy, giddy, giddy. Built environment people. If you don't wake up, you shall be woken up. You have to wake up. You know, you've been appointed to do the work.
They're waiting for what happened in the eastern region. God forbid.
Yeah, or they are waiting. Say, Charlie, is the president thinking? Does the president know the president? Is he related to my cousin? Something? Wait, unnecessary things. Anyway, so those are the kinds of things we'll talk about as well. 6:32. Good morning, Kokui.
Good morning, Bernardino.
How are you,
Charlie? I'm praying. I'm praying for some relief from COVID. You know, I'm sure you've experienced this as well. You go onto social media, you're scrolling through your timeline, and all you see is sad news.
COVID.
People.
But I think sometimes you should manage your social media consumption because
I've had to.
You will just kill yourself.
I just shut off.
Now you know the funny thing on this social media, it's like the 80-20 rule. 20% of your followers make 80% of the noise, and a lot of the noise is not even sensible noise. Because I was a day I was like so my timeline will keep popping, my name pops. 1 or 2 people be everything they'll comment. They are watching this, they comment. Nathan has said this, they'll comment. Kukui has done this, they'll comment. I don't know where they pay them. I said, why should I spend my whole life watching these 20 people disturb? Quickly did I sign out? No, please, listeners, I want to give you good advice. Right now, mental health and social media craziness are relatives. So if you want to be sane, pick up the phone. There's a place they call log out. Just log out and put the phone down quietly. You know some of the things I do now? Now, sometimes when I'm coming to work, I put the phones in my bag and I put it in the back seat.
No distraction.
I know I don't even have a phone. When I'm going to sleep, the phone is no longer near the head of my phone, far away in some corner, silent. Then I can have nice dreams.
Peace of mind.
Because sometimes you dreaming something is chasing you, and you wake up and realize that somebody had posted something on Facebook and the thing has entered your mind. Please. This is how I keep. So my phone, log out quick. And in fact, I've decided that I'll be logging out of these things like 1 week, the whole week I won't be there.
You won't be there. Okay.
Yes, if I want to tune on, my team in Citi will tune in for me, and then they'll post for me. I don't want to die early. You know, I have children; they have to grow and see me. So please, good morning, Nathan. That's me. It's not my thing. I don't know my goal. Where I'm going, I don't know what's there, but so let's deal with the graphic. Why?
All right, the front page of the Daily Graphic. Tears flow as mourners bid farewell to Rawlings. GHS intensifies community surveillance for COVID-19 variant, and on the election petition case, Mahama files fresh application to amend processes.
All right, the Ghanaian Times. Upsurge in COVID-19 cases. Government will enforce stricter measures if. Now, this is coming from Information Minister Designate Opong Kroma. Okay. COVID-19 scare. GMA raises concern over crowd turnout at Rawlings' funeral. Hundreds mourn Rawlings. More to file past remains today. And fire destroys goods worth over 2.7 million Ghana cedis at Wa Kejetia Market.
The Daily Guide says Flight Lieutenant J.J. Rawlings honored lies in state at AICC, and there's a picture of a mourner, and there's an image of Rawlings' body also on the front page of the Daily Guide. Mahama begs courts to amend this petition again. Indian envoy Lord Napo impact and reject Mahama delay tactics. That's Nana Akufo-Addo there.
That front page picture, Charlie, maybe
I
we
don't
can
know.
talk about this. I
Yeah,
don't know how I feel about this, but okay. The new crusading guide. Mahama files application to amend his petition again. GMA calls for restrictions on public gathering as COVID cases surge. LCB Worldwide and GHS move to curb COVID-19 at funeral of former President Rawlings. And GJA eulogizes Rawlings for his contributions to Ghana's democracy.
The Daily Statesman says, farewell, Jerry John Rawlings. Another lockdown may hit Ghana. Government worried about rising trend of COVID-19 cases. And to continue or to stay proceedings, Supreme Court rules on Mahama's application today.
The Chronicle. Anglo chiefs snub JJ's funeral, say they will not be part of it. Ex-NPP chair bemoans dwindling fortunes of party in mining areas. Politics, a battleground for northern professionals. Those are the headlines on the front page of the Chronicle.
The BNFT's front page says, thousands pay last respect as nation mourns first president of Fourth Republic. GRA taps data scientists to go after tax deviants, especially high net worth individuals. And on trade, FDIs won't make continent lose after benefits. That's according to the EU ambassador. And then there's a feature on page 9 of the BNFT which says 61% of male informal traders not wearing masks. That's according to a study.
Economy Times. Bank of Ghana to hold policy rate at 14.5 as virus resurges. ID card for Momo transactions. Date extended to April 1st. And Citi to remain stable.
All right, let me take you. Look, have you done the find already?
Yeah, let me do the finder very quickly. COVID-19 spike is a recipe for lockdown, says Kojo Nkrumah. GIJ shuts down after recording COVID-19 cases. My father was passionate about a lot of things, says Zaneto. Academic work progresses steadily in some SHSs in Accra. Only 3 students infected with COVID-19 since school reopened, says the GHS. Let's restrict social activities, says the GMA. And MTN Ghana gets approval to buy back 1 million shares. All of those headlines on the front page of the Finder.
I'm going to give you a few headlines. This headline is interesting. KNUST Primary School closed down over university senior staff strike. Yesterday, UPS of Cape Coast and Legon closed down. Now, I remember in university primary school many years ago, there was a day there was a tail strike and we saw the workers marching. And the head teacher closed the school and we all went home. To think that over 25 years later, they are still doing the same thing on campus and university primary schools are suffering. It's just unbelievable. Now, Occupy Ghana calls for ban on social gatherings. This is still citynewsroom.com. Then there's a lot on the election petition. Supreme Court resumes hearing. You've given me those headlines already. Now, City Business lead story. UK Ghana Chamber of Commerce urged British Airways to reconsider route change. That's an interesting one. Mansa Nete appointed Ghana Association of Bankers president. And the GRA is saying that they will get 60 billion in terms of revenue after exceeding their target. They are raising the target. Good job. Now, myjournline.com is also on the court case. Allow me to demonstrate further that your ruling was contrary to law, Mahama to Supreme Court. Other stories, there's possibility of a lockdown and tighter restrictions. This is upon Nkrumah from yesterday's press briefing. I'll take you into that one. Now we're told all 16 regions record active COVID-19 cases. This is Ghana Health Service. Don't toy with the story. Again, Star News, a lot on Mahama petition. Mahama seeks leave to file additional grounds for review. And then watch Rawlings funeral virtually. This is Information Minister designate. And then GMA says, let Ghanaians watch the funeral from home. They are not happy with the queues and the mounting up of things. Okay, now let me just do a couple of quick things. Bloomberg is talking about some very interesting things on vaccines. WHO warns on vaccine. New Zealand keeps doors shut. Virus update. There's a lot on vaccines. BBC is also talking about EU to tighten vaccine exports amid AstraZeneca row. Also in the US, the House delivers impeachment charge against Trump. So there's going to be more Trump even though he's gone. And then Biden to impose South Africa travel ban to combat new COVID-19 strain. And this is CNBC Africa. So we small virus come from South Africa. They want to ban. So that's leading. In fact, South Africa itself is also talking COVID. In their lead story, the Mail and Guardian is also talking about their COVID situation. Now, Nigeria This Day Live is also talking about EU slamming AstraZeneca over vaccine dose delivery. So it's the vaccine wars that we're facing. Finally, on the East African front page, Hotel Rwanda hero trial to begin. on Tuesday. All right, so guys, I think Rawlings will be where we start from.
Yes, the
Okay.
Daily Graphic says tears flow as mourners bid farewell to Rawlings. Now the story is written by Emmanuel Bonney and Edward Aqua, and they say tears flowed at the Accra International Conference Center yesterday when thousands of Ghanaians paid their respects to the departed former president Jerry John Rawlings on the first day of public viewing of his body as it was lying in state at the foyer of the center. While some of the mourners went into a state of shock after seeing the body, others could not hold back their tears as they filed past. For some of the mourners, it was difficult to comprehend that the man they adored so much had departed this world. The mourners from far and near included various interest groups, members of the public, religious and traditional leaders, officers and the leadership of the various political parties. There were also security chiefs, including the IGP, Mr. James Opombwenu, the Chief of the Defense Staff, Major General Obed Boama Akwa, and the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Thomas Opon Pepra. Now, the story goes on to detail how early the program started, the various groups that were there, COVID-19 protocols, the fact that there were no trespassing, and pictures were not allowed to be taken of the body.
Right,
However, on the Daily Guide front page, somehow they managed to put a
Yeah,
picture there.
but this picture is all over Facebook anyway.
Which again,
I don't know who took it, but there's somebody who took it.
Yeah, and so as a media house, should we say, of repute, supposedly, does that mean you should
But
also
was
put
there-
this on
wa-
your front page?
Was there some order not to take photos?
I believe there was. But somehow someone was able to get a
Yes,
picture.
journalists were restricted from filming and taking pictures within the foyer where the body was lying.
Fine.
Then you put it on your front page. Anyway, okay. If you go to the Ghanaian Times, the center spread, pretty much most of the paper is chock full of Rawlings. I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of information here.
Like an insert on
there's an
Rawlings?
insert on him. There are tributes from people.
Oh, wow.
So here you can see
So like
here.
a whole pull out.
It's a
is that
whole
what they call
pull
it?
out on Rawlings, and it says Rawlings the Enigma, fare thee well, gallant soldier.
So
It's a
that's Ghanaian
special
Times.
supplement, Ghanaian Times. Lovely images here. You've got him and Bill Clinton, him and the Queen.
Yeah.
In one picture there, him and the current president, Akufo-Addo. He in his younger days as well. We've got some images here, and then a nice family picture right in the middle. So pick up the Ghanaian
You know, when I
Times
was
to see
young,
more of
there are
that.
some places you go, somebody will put JJ's picture in his store and things. So if you want to keep those pictures, Ghanaian Times has a nice
They've
one.
got a nice one, yeah.
So Rawlings is the big one
Yes.
for today.
Then, you know that story we had about the Anglo chiefs?
Yes, just give me that
in the
angle.
Chronicle.
Yeah,
Okay,
and a few-
so the headline says Anglo chiefs snub JJ's funeral, say they will not be part of it. The Anglo Traditional Council, ATC, says it is staying off the ongoing funeral ceremonies lined up for the departed former Ghanaian head of state, Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. According to the council, it has resolved to have nothing to do with the funeral ceremony of their son because their members were not invited. The Traditional Council has, however, stated an intention to observe its own funeral ceremonies at a date to be announced soon. All right, you can read more about that.
Yeah. Now, talking about the funeral, if you go to some of the websites, I'm going to segue into health. So, for example, if you go to Star FM, there's a story that says, watch Rawlings' funeral virtually.
Yes.
This is Kojo Oponkroma, so sort of using that to enter the conversation about COVID-19. And the story says that the Information Minister, Desini Kojo Oponkroma, is appealing to Ghanaians to watch the funeral and burial activities of the late former President Rawlings virtually to avoid a possible spread of COVID-19. He said, given current regulations for public gatherings, admitting large numbers of people to observe the funeral rites of the late president will flout social distancing protocols of the pandemic. And he was speaking yesterday, basically reiterating the COVID issues. Then he also says that a lockdown is possible. Again, this is from another website. Information Minister Desini Kojo Oponkroma says the country may be heading for tighter restrictions and a possible lockdown should the COVID-19 cases continue to rise. Now, at a press briefing yesterday, he said, considering the current trend where an average of 200 persons test positive for the virus a day, the imposition of restrictions should be anticipated. Then there are a couple of things from GMA.
Yes,
And
the
then,
Ghana Health Service on page 13 of the Daily Graphic says it is intensifying community surveillance to ascertain whether the new COVID-19 variant is spreading within communities. This has become necessary because the service believes the new variant, which has been detected among international travelers, could be the reason a high number of people exposed to the virus are falling sick. Addressing the media at the minister's briefing, a national platform to provide updates on the COVID-19 situation in Ghana. The Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumar-Boaji, said the service was also closely monitoring to pick up any mutation of the virus to enhance national response.
There are two more stories. Ghana Medical Association has actually asked for a ban, and Occupy Ghana has sort of joined themselves to the call. So the latest story on COVID is on citynewsroom.com. Occupy Ghana is calling for a ban on social gatherings, and the story says pressure group is asking government to immediately place a ban on social gatherings in the country due to increasing numbers of COVID-19 cases. It wants the ban to be put in place till a marked drop in new cases are seen. So they're talking funerals, parties, church services, nightclubs, etc. In short, any gathering of more than 10 people should be banned again. The pressure group said in a statement. We may talk to them later on. GMA issued a statement, 9-point paragraph, hinting that they wanted this to happen. And they are saying we have about 600 cases a day. And the active case count is about 3,500. So there's a lot of COVID concern in the country.
A lot. And GIJ has shut down after recording COVID-19 cases. And this is 10 days after reopening of schools. The Ghana Institute of Journalism has temporarily closed down for fumigation exercise after 2 staff tested positive for COVID-19. Information reaching the Finder indicated that all 2 campuses of the university have suspended all academic activities until Monday, February 1st, 2021. The Finder got to know this upon visiting the school and other tertiary institutions in Accra to observe adherence of COVID-19 protocols among students, staff, and visitors.
There's something in the GMA statement I know Nathan would like. On paragraph 7, it says suppliers and vendors of the various types of PPEs, especially the face mask, should not take advantage of the new surge of COVID cases to increase the demand for their products by increasing prices or scaling up prices. This in the long run will not benefit to the society squared to defeat the virus. The statement is on citynewsroom.com, and they are saying government should, as a matter of urgency, restrict social activities such as parties, church services, funerals, clubs, and other social gatherings. Occupy Ghana has said exactly the same thing.
Yes, I just want to say something quickly. Why is government or the information minister designate now saying people should watch Rawlings's funeral virtually? When on day 1 you've told people they should go and watch the body?
Good point. So the first day, maybe they didn't know people go plenty like that.
How?
Okay,
Bernard.
let's go to court.
Okay.
Lots of court
Yes.
angles here.
Page 13, Daily Graphic. Mahama files fresh application to amend processes. Former President John Mahama, who has petitioned the Supreme Court over the outcome of the December 2020 elections, has filed a fresh process at the Apex Court seeking leave to file an additional ground of review to the review application on the interrogatories. The new application was filed at the Supreme Court at 2:30 p.m. yesterday, before the Apex Court is set to hear the 2020 presidential election petition filed by Mr. Mahama today. The lead counsel for Mr. Mahama, Mr. Chachu Chikata, also intends to file or argue an additional ground for his application review filed on January 20, 2021.
So then there are so many angles to that. The MPP is saying this is delayed tactics. The NDC is saying that this interrogatories thing will rather shorten the case. Be that we are going to be there live from 10 o'clock. So you're going to have Sixtus Don Ulo, Selom Adono, and the team reporting live from court. So stay with Citi FM and Citi TV for the latest on that, Kukui.
Can we have one other court story?
Why
Not in
not?
Ghana, but in Uganda.
What's happening?
Uganda court has ordered the end to Bobby Wine's house arrests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Ugandan court has ordered the military and police to leave the home of opposition politician Bobby Wine. For those who don't know, he was contesting against Museveni. And he kept saying that he and his wife, his family basically were being targeted, etc. He's been in house arrest since the election. He has not left his house in the outskirts of the capital, Kampala, since voting in the presidential election 11 days ago, in which he was declared the runner-up to President Museveni. Monday's ruling by the High Court in Kampala comes after a petition by Bobby Wine's lawyers. The state argued that it needed to prevent him from organizing protests, but the High Court has now ruled that Bobby Wine's detention was unlawful, and they said it's an infringement on his personal liberties. So now
All right,
he's
now
free to-
I wanted to just do a quick one. KNUST Primary School closed down over University Senior Side strike, so they follow UCC Primary, Legon Primary. Academic activities have halted at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Basic Schools as a strike by Senior Staff Association of Public Universities continues. Checks by City News at the premises of the school show empty classrooms with no activities going on. The leadership of the KNUST branch of Senior Staff Association has directed its members to leave duty posts except for essential services. Parents say this is inconvenience. UCC, UG Business Schools also shut down. Takes me back to 25 years ago. I remember very clearly. And it's funny, one of the leaders of the TU at the time is still one of the leaders.
After 25
Yeah, I
years.
remember many years ago there was a man called Luma or something. Some guy.
And he's still...
He was one of the leaders. Charlie, they say you don't go work. Fusag. It was TU and Fusag. Yeah, TU Fusag. All right. So Nathan, you are back in the guide. I have so many international stories though, but if you have any other local stories.
I do. Okay, this one. I don't know what you guys think about this. Vulnerable groups flout COVID-19 protocols. This is in the Ghanaian Times. Okay, beggars along major streets in the Accra metropolis are flouting the COVID-19 precautionary measures without wearing face masks as they ply their daily trade of begging for alms. Other violators of the COVID-19 safety protocols are the homeless, especially migrants from countries like Mali, Niger, and other Sahel nations who have taken over street pavements in the Zongos as sleeping areas. Ghanaian Times observed during a visit to Abosi Okai Zongo in Accra, some people believed to be migrants were sleeping in groups under tents in front of shops and stores without observing COVID-19 preventive protocols. So my question is, they're beggars, they're sleeping rough. Where are they going to get masks from? How are they going to procure masks? Who, if you say they're flouting COVID-19 protocols, it may be so, but it's...
They can't. Now, the daily, is it the Finder, has two stories of interest. GIJ shuts down after recording COVID-19 cases, and it says that 10 days after the reopening of schools, Ghana Journalists Association, Ghana Journalists Institute, is that the name? Has temporarily closed down for fumigation after 2 staff tested positive. Then academic work progresses steadily in some SHSs in the country. So it's not all doom and gloom. The story says, despite the huge enrollment numbers in SHSs, management of some schools have decided to maintain the normal system instead of running a shift system since they can handle the numbers. Now, the paper visited Laboni Senior High School and St. Thomas Aquinas and came up with some positive reports about how the schools are trying to manage the situation. So that's in terms of stories locally. I don't know. There's a couple of things I wanted to do this morning. Coronavirus, the EU to tighten vaccine export amid row with AstraZeneca. BBC's lead story says the EU has warned that it will tighten rules on exports of COVID vaccines amid a row with AstraZeneca over a cut in plant supplies to the 27-member bloc. People are looking for the vaccine. Health Commissioner Stella Kyriakidis said the EU will take any action required to protect its citizens. Last week, the company told the EU it was falling behind on its supply target because of production problems. The EU has been criticized for slow rollout of vaccines, which it buys on behalf of all its members. So now, instead of individual European countries buying, the EU buys the vaccine and then shares.
So what are we doing?
The row could also affect supplies to the UK of the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine developed by US and Germany, because Pfizer's Belgian plant supplies the UK. While people are fighting over the vaccine, we were told that our committee met. I think yesterday, Eyewitness News, I heard the information Mr. Designate say that there had been a couple of meetings by some committee and they were working to get the vaccine, but there wasn't a specific date as to when to expect the vaccine on our side. So that's on the European side of things. So those of you asking for the vaccine, Bloomberg also leads with this. WHO warns on vaccine. So it's a huge conversation about vaccine. It says the WHO says vaccine coverage won't reach a point that will stop transmission of the virus in the foreseeable future. The WHO said. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said the world is risking more virus variations by not pushing for vaccines in developing countries. Okay, so I think that's the lead problem there. Moderna plans to begin human studies of a booster shot for its vaccine to help protect workers or people against a more transmissible South African virus variant. Why are they giving this thing to South Africa?
Yeah.
New Zealand claims they will keep their border closed to the world throughout most of next year, of this year, 2021, while Thailand found a record number of cases in a migrant labor cluster near Bangkok. And so there's a new COVID variant which is being, for some reason, traced to South Africa. And now we're told that cases have exceeded over 99 million, deaths pass over 2.1 million, and all kinds of things happening in the world. China is looking for its own vaccine. I don't know, Nathan. It's just, the whole thing is...
You mentioned something about airports, British Airways.
Yes. Let me. Do you have that? I
Yeah,
have that
in the
here.
Economy Times, there's an angle on this. So
Yes.
government, that's our government, could force British Airways to land in Kumasi or Tabale as reciprocity.
Okay.
This aviation specialist saying this. So commercial aviation specialist Richard Tre has said that government has the option of redirecting British Airways flights coming into the country to land in other airports in Ghana aside Kotoka International Airport. This action, he said, is in line with government exercising the spirit of reciprocity in the Bilateral Air Services Agreement, or BASA, between Ghana and the UK. His comments come on the back of BA's decision to switch the London-Accra-London route from Heathrow to Gatwick Airport. A memo from the aviation industry stated that the airline made this move without consulting the government of Ghana. So the aviation specialist noted.
they want to punish them?
Yeah, so they say, we for
Yeah.
changed.
A lot of people are used to Heathrow because Heathrow has sort of, from Heathrow you are getting to wherever you're getting. Gatwick is a different kettle of fish. Anyway, thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Kukri. It's 4 minutes to 7. This is the City Breakfast Show. So much